Hey guys, Gabriel from Factory 3D. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a beginner's video today. I'm going to be doing a video on how to prepare your prints for 3D printing and how to get them started on the Ender 3. Let's dig right in. Hey guys, Gabriel from Factory 3D. So in the beginning, like I said, I'm going to be doing a beginner's video, which is okay because I'm a beginner. Most of you guys are probably beginners, and it's good to know how to do these certain things. So, I use Cura 15.04 for various reasons. It's simple to use, very straightforward, and it's the only version of Cura that works on my computer. I tried downloading the most recent version of Cura, but it just won't work on my computer, which is okay. So here's what Cura 15.04 looks like. It's very simple, super straightforward, and it works great. So I like using Slicer 3 from Prusa because I like using it because it has a lot of flexibility options, but a lot of those flexibility options, I don't know how to use. They're super complicated, and since I'm a beginner, I don't know how to use them, and I really hope I'll be able to learn how to use them because I can help you guys, and hopefully you guys can help me learn how to use them too. So, super straightforward. So what you're going to come over, when you first open Cura, you're going to go over to this Machine tab, and you're going to hit Add New Machine. So it's going to take you to this Add New Machine wizard. You're going to just go through the questions, and it doesn't have the Creality 3D or Ender 3 printer, so you're just going to hit Other. You're just going to come here, and you're going to hit Custom for this other machine info. So we'll just title this Ender YT. So then we're going to come over. The width and the X and the Y are both 220, but the machine height is 250. So the nozzle size is not 0.5, it is actually 0.4, and it does have a heated bed. We're not going to hit this bed center 000 because it's not, it's the bottom left corner. The bottom left corner is 000. So we're going to hit finish, and it's going to open us back up. Now we have our brand new machine. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to make sure your settings are right. I recommend going with the settings that I'm going to give you because they've worked great for me. So layer height, I like using 1mm layer height because it creates great prints. It does take a little bit longer, but that's okay. So I like to keep my shelf thickness at 8, and you're going to want to enable retraction. If you don't want stringing and little zits, enable retraction. It's going to help. So 0.6, so this bottom and top thickness, I like to keep that at 0.8 because my shell thickness itself is 0.8, and it keeps an equally strong print. So fill density, for my infill, I usually do 20 or 15. 15 is when I don't want to waste a ton of filament, but I like using 20 because it creates a strong print, not super light, but 15% does create a very light print, and I don't like that. It feels weird. So print speed, I usually do 75, and I do 205 and 65 for my bed temperature. So these settings are they are very important for your print. Support type, I don't like using supports because you need to get them just right so that they're easily removable, because if they're not, they won't do any help for your print, or they can be really hard to remove. If they're really hard to remove, they create, it ends up ruining your print, and then you're going to have to sand it down, which is another thing I don't like because it creates just an uneven finish, and you're going to have to end up sanding the whole print down. So if it doesn't need supports, don't use them. Platform adhesion type, I use Brim. Not Brim, Raft. Sorry. I use Raft, but because Brims still don't stick for me. I like Rafts because it creates a little platform which the print can print onto. For the diameter of the filament, it's not 2.85, it's 1.75. Just buy 1.75 filament, and the printer will work great. So flow rate, flow percent, I keep that at 100. So then what I like to do is I like to come over to my advanced tab, and I like to fine tune it. So for my speed, I usually do, I can't remember what I do. Come over to here, and for my advanced, I do my retraction speed at, 150, and then my distance is 7. So we're gonna come over here and we'll do 150 and 7. Cool. So initial layer thickness, we're gonna keep that at 2. We're gonna take that to 2. And like if you come over here and you like hold your cursor in the boxes, it will show you information on what they're for and why they're good to have. So for this dual extrusion overlap, don't worry about that. Keep that at 0 because the Ender 3 does not have a dual extruder. So everything else looks good. Keep all the settings the same except for what I've just told you to change. And we're all set to throw a model in. So we're going to come over here and we're going to hit load model file. I have plenty of models that I have ready and I've downloaded. Like, I have a ton. So we're going to come over here and we're just going to do this low poly skull. I like using it because it's nice. I've printed multiple and they've come out great. Except for this little area, it has kind of bad overhangs. The settings do not print the prettiest of overhangs, but the rest of the print does come out pretty great. I printed 3 of these. I printed black, blue, and a green, but I sold the green to one of my friends at school. He loved it. Which is another thing that I've been doing is I've been selling prints throughout school. I've made $20 and I've been doing it for 3 days. So, everything looks good now. So, it'll take about 3 hours and 4 minutes. So you can come over here and you can scale this up to size. I don't usually scale my prints. I usually keep them at what they're at for now. But yeah, and you can scale and rotate and reset into the max and just that kind of stuff. So yeah, all right. So now that that's ready, we are good to start previewing it. So you're gonna come over here and you're gonna hit this view mode, this tab over here. So you're gonna go over to layers and it's gonna start loading the layers. It should finish, but there is this loading toolpath for visualization. You want that at 100, else you won't be able to preview your print all the way. See how it's empty for half of it, but it's infilled for the rest. So you're going to want to wait for that to get to 100%, and then it should be ready to print. All right, well, not print, preview. So now that it's done, we can just go through and preview it all, and it looks pretty good. You can see all the infill, and then you can see the first layer of your raft, and just everything else. So looks good. So green is like green and red is your actual shell. Yellow is going to be your infill, and these super tiny blue lines are going to be where it's retracting. So that's just that's just how it works. So another thing you can do is you can come over to this overhang tab, and anything that's red will show that you need supports for that. So nothing's red except for this, which is one thing it does. It's weird. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to fix it. It just does that. It doesn't affect your print at all. But yeah. So nothing needs supports for this print itself. Looks pretty good. So now that this is ready and previewed, we can come over here to this file and save G-code. You're going to want to come over here to wherever your micro SD card is, and you're just going to go and just fix it. So we'll do low poly. Let's do low poly for YT. We'll keep that, and it should be loading. So once that's done, you're just going to take it out and you're going to put it into your Ender 3. And yeah, I'll show you how to do that. So let's go. All right, so I have my SD card here. So really all you need to do is just put it into the little micro SD card slot in the Ender 3. You just should click in right there. So then what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to press the button. You're going to come over and print from SD. You're just going to want to keep refreshing it until it shows up. I usually refresh it one more time after that because for some reason it doesn't work. So then you're going to go to the file you wanted and you're going to press it, and yeah, so the heating is I already started heating it, but so it's gonna start just getting it ready. It always extrudes a little bit before the actual print, but yeah, now it's working and it should be printing pretty good. So thank you all for watching. That's really it. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like my video, subscribe, and check out the website for progress on the printer, and I'll see you guys around.